Anybody that don't have Angel Reese, as far as the media is concerned, as a starter, just pretty much tells me you haven't been watching the WNBA as a whole this year. You pick and choose what games you have watched. Now, I know it's not the easiest thing to watch every game. Now, I know some people that do go back and watch games that they miss. That's tough to do for some people. But to not have Angel Reese as a front court starter, you're not voting her as a front court starter, just says a lot about you. It just shows me that you don't really pay attention to the games as a whole as you need to, as a media member, as you should. That's your job. Your job is to watch the games. You need to be held accountable. You need to be held to that standard. You need to watch the games. Like I said, I know people that go back and watch the games that they missed. And then I know people that go back and watch some of the games that they watch, multiple times. And if you've done that as a media member, you would know clearly that Angel Reese is playing top basketball as a front court player and deserves to be a front court starter. Like I said, a lot of you lack journalism integrity. You don't have integrity. You don't have honesty. You're not forthright. And that's partially one of the reasons why you won't get an interview with Angel. We know a lot of this stuff is because media members don't really have the connection with Angel, because Angel is going to be very particular with who she's going to give interviews to, if any interviews, because like I said, people be looking for snippets and they're going to take some out of the conversation just to make it blow up and make it look like some that is not. And I totally understand it from Angel's standpoint. You got to protect your voice and not let people misrepresent what you're trying to actually convey to the people. And you got to be particular with who you give interviews to. And like I said, I know this partially the reason why these people acting goofy, like Angel Reese ain't playing amongst the top front court players in the league that deserve to be a starter for the WNBA All-Star. Like, that's ridiculous. I can't trust you if you don't have her as a starter, because like I said, she getting it done on both ends. Her team is a top team in the WNBA. And that's just it, man. Like, I can't trust you as a media member if you